Cori, I'm really excited to learn about how we can layer all of the greatest SkinCeuticals products.
Well, I'm so excited to talk about that today. I know it's one of the top questions that we get for us at SkinCeuticals and you guys at Lovely Skin as well. So we thought, it's about that time of year to remind everyone how to layer their products. I am going to go ahead and share my screen and we're going to run through some really fun slides. At the end, I do want to leave a good amount of time so that you all can ask any questions that I may not have addressed during today's presentation. Let's go ahead and make sure we're sharing. Fantastic. As Christy said, my name is Cori. I am the education manager here at SkinCeuticals, and I'm sure you've seen me before if you've joined one of our master classes here along with Lovely Skin. So if it's a returning class for you, welcome back. So excited that you continue to come back and keep learning from me and us at SkinCeuticals. And if it's your first time, welcome. You're in for a treat. So get your pen and paper ready. And if you have any questions on anything that I say, please, like Chrissy said, use the Q&A widget. We have licensed estheticians in the chat ready to answer some of your questions. Lovely Skin team is here as well. And if I don't answer something that's like a burning question, save it for the end so you can ask it live and I'll answer it for you in real time. So let's go ahead and get started. I can get this to click. Wonderful. Okay, can everybody see the screen? It's not coming up for me on my end. Can somebody just pop off?
I can
Yep,
see it.
looks good.
Fabulous. Sometimes Zoom wants to trick me. Okay, let's get started. Welcome, everyone. I just want to go ahead and run through an agenda of what we're going to talk about today. I know it's SkinCeuticals Layering 101, but we're really going to get into the nitty-gritty of why layering matters, right? Morning versus evening routine. What is the focus? What are the products that we should be using in these routines to make sure that we maximize our results and the benefits of the products that we're applying? Next, how to layer your SkinCeuticals products. It gets kind of tricky and confusing when we get into the 4, 5, 6 product kind of category, right? We're like, wait, what am I using? Why am I using it? How does it go on? So many questions. So we really want to make sure that it doesn't feel overwhelming. So that way tonight, when you go and you do your skincare routine, you can take a lot of these tips and tricks with you and you feel like you're really getting the most out of it and you're enjoying it, right? Skincare should be fun. I also want to talk about skin cycling for just a moment of the class. Skin cycling, I feel like, is still a viral kind of layering process, and we have our own method of skin cycling. So we're going to go ahead and share some of that with you, and then I want to dive into each product in your routine. What is the purpose of each product in the routine, and share some pro tips again on how to maximize each step in the routine because it plays a role, right? It plays a role in how everything is going to work and mesh together. And then lastly, time for individual questions in case there's something that I do not cover. If you have a specific routine about your routine, about the products you're using that you're still kind of confused about, we'll go ahead and answer that at the end for you. But in a nutshell, layering can feel very overwhelming, especially again when you get into that multiple product kind of category. So let's get started. Why layering matters? Layering matters a ton, right? Think of your skin like a sponge, and the order that you apply products can really affect how well they absorb into the skin and work. Skincare products are each going to be formulated with a specific molecular weight, maybe different sizes, pH levels, and penetration capabilities and abilities. And you can see that with the textures of your products, right? Your cleanser looks and feels different than your vitamin C serum, looks and feels different than your sunscreen, right? So there's a specific method and science to layering. Now, when we look at layering, when you layer correctly, each product is going to complement the next. Antioxidants are going to prevent damage. Serums and moisturizers are going to correct current concerns and offer nourishment, hydration, maybe other benefits. And then, of course, the sunscreen is going to protect. So we make sure that we're enhancing that efficacy and the absorption. We're minimizing any potential irritation by layering our products in the right way and maybe, avoiding layering products that don't mesh well together. And then also, we're protecting our skin and correcting our visible concerns with intention. Every product has a purpose in the routine. Think of skincare like dressing for the weather. Layer in the right order for the best protection, right? We don't want to put our raincoat on first and then our, light sweater over it, right? It all has to go on in a layer. It's strategically placed for a reason. So you may not apply the same product every day or even in the same 24-hour period. Maybe we're applying something in the morning that necessarily doesn't go on at night or vice versa. So we're going to dive into that. And that's because our focuses are different, right? Our focuses are different for morning and evening. And there are certain skincare products that are morning only versus morning evening. So let's go ahead and dive into some of that. Let's look at our morning routine versus our evening routine, right? So AM versus PM. What are our morning routine goals? And some of you may know this, right? Our goals for the morning, our morning skincare routine is all about prevention and protection, right? We're prepping the skin to face the day, essentially. This is where your vitamin C antioxidant and your sunscreen is going to play a really huge role at preventing future damage and also protecting that healthy skin. You're still going to apply your serums to target any specific concerns that you may have during this morning step too. Now, alternatively, your evening routine is going to be a little bit more focused on repair and renewal because this is when our skin goes into recovery mode, right? Our body goes into recovery mode. So it makes a little bit more sense that we're focusing on repair and maybe recovery. Maybe we're using some more active products like retinol or glycolic 10 Renew Overnight. Whatever kind of active exfoliant or cell renewal type of product you're using will typically go on in the nighttime to address, again, your unique concerns, your skin type, and your lifestyle, of course. So main differences between morning and evening routine goals. Morning, we're looking to prevent and protect. In the evening, we're looking to repair and renew, right? So let's take a look at how to layer our SkinCeuticals products. So this is specific to SkinCeuticals. So we're going to go through our method of layering and our method of application, but it's pretty much a general rule of thumb. It's a blueprint on how to apply any products that you have in your routine. So you can take this with you, even if you're not using SkinCeuticals products, or if you're mixing and matching, this rule applies to your current routine, right? Whether it's all SkinCeuticals or if it's a mishmash of a couple of different things that you have favorites from different brands, totally fine. We play well with other products in the sandbox. But in general, with your SkinCeuticals routine or with other products, you're always going to start with cleansing. Cleanse your skin, prep for the rest of the routine. Then you're going to move on to tone or essence. Some people use a toner and an essence. We're going to dive into what the difference is a little bit later and go over some pro tips with all of these steps. So I just want to give you now a general snapshot so you have it. So starting with a cleanse, then we move on to our toner and or essence if you use it. This is a completely optional step. After that, if you have this product, this is where Cell Cycle Catalyst would go because it's lightweight. If any of you on this call have used Cell Cycle Catalyst, it's very thin. It's like water. It reminds me of the consistency of water. This is more of a booster. This is going to enhance and boost the rest of the products in your routine. So it's going to go right after the toner or the essence if you use it in the routine. If not, don't worry about it. After that, you're going to apply any antioxidants. So that these are going to go on once daily. In the morning, that would be your vitamin C serum. At nighttime, that would be resveratrol BE if you have it, or any other antioxidant that's prescribed for nighttime, right? But vitamin C, our vitamin C serums will always go on once daily only in the morning. So if you're looking at this and you're thinking, Cori, well, I don't use Cell Cycle Catalyst, I don't tone, I don't use an essence. That's okay. You're going to cleanse, you're going to go straight into your vitamin C serum. So any step that you see here that doesn't apply to you, poof, just eliminate it and move on to the next one, right? After that, we're going to go into our serums, the application of our serums. You may have one, you may have two. I've seen upwards of 7. And you're like, well, Cori, I have more. I believe you, and that's okay. If you have like however many serums you have, if it's 1, 2, 3, or 10, you're going to layer them in order of thinnest to thickest in terms of consistency. And a little bit later, in just a slide or two, I have a cheat sheet on our serums and the order that they go in depending on how viscous they are. So we're going to take a look at that in a little bit. So serums would go here in order of thin to thick. After that, we're going to get into our cream application. So our eye cream is going to go on next, then our face moisturizer, and then lastly, in the morning, sunscreen. So sunscreen goes on once daily in the morning only at the end of your routine, but before your makeup. So you're going to apply all your skincare, you're going to then apply your sunscreen, then you're going to wait a little bit, and then you're going to go into your makeup application if you wear makeup. Now, top question that we get, which I'm going to address later as well is how long do I have to wait in between each of these steps? And I would say like a good 30 to 60 seconds is like a very generous time frame to wait. With each product application, I'm also going to tell you how much of each product you should be using, so stay tuned for that. But our products at SkinCeuticals are very potent, as are a lot of the skincare brands that Lovely Skin has on their website to shop. Everything is very potent. They strategically choose brands that are highly active, highly potent, and deliver results, right? So each of our formulas is not any different. A little bit goes a long way, so we don't need to like oversaturate the face or drown the skin in each step. A little bit goes a long way. Again, I'll remind you on how much to apply of each product. Wait until it feels like it's nice and absorbed, then move on to the next step. But you don't need to be waiting like 20, 30 minutes between each step. No reason for that at all. So it should go by pretty quickly, and enjoy it, right? This is your beauty ritual of the day. Take some time, say a little affirmation between each step. It's a good time to habit stack. If there's anything that you need to do, think about, say to yourself, multitask while you're putting your products on. It's a good kind of forced relaxation time where all you're thinking about and doing is focused on you and your skin health, right? So I always like to take that away and remind all of you when you're applying your skincare that it's self-care and it's fun and it's your time, whether it's 30 seconds, a minute, or two. Maybe that's all you have for yourself in the day. So take advantage of it, and know that you're doing it for you. Okay, so let's dive into now we have a general rule of thumb, a general blueprint on how to layer SkinCeuticals products. Let's divide that into morning and evening because it's going to look a little bit different compared to morning and evening. So quick snapshot again. General rule of thumb. Remember, if you don't have something that I'm talking about, just eliminate it and you're going to move on to the next step. So in the morning, after you've cleansed and you've done your toner and or your essence, if you do that, then you're going to apply Cell Cycle Catalyst if that's what you're doing. After that, your vitamin C serum. After that, your serums. After that, your eye moisturizer and face moisturizer, and then your sunscreen. Just wanted to kind of layer it out for all of you to see if you're a little bit more of a visual learner like I am, step by step, what that looks like, 1 through 5 after cleansing and toning. Now at nighttime, a little bit different again, right? Cleanse, tone, and essence. If you do that, then you're going to start with your nighttime antioxidant. So if you are using resveratrol BE, this is where it would go. Really great to just support anti-aging and repair and recovery. So if you're very focused on anti-aging right now, I would highly, highly recommend adding resveratrol BE into the nighttime routine. It's almost like if you think about your antioxidants like bodyguards protecting your skin from those pesky free radicals that just want to wreak havoc on your skin cells and cause a ruckus. Your vitamin C is your daytime shift. Your resveratrol BE is your nighttime shift. So they're really beautiful to just kind of give you that round the clock in different ways, right? So just something to think about. After that, you would apply any actives. So these are going to be your retinols, your acids, your heavy hitters, right? Glycolic 10 renew overnight, anything like that. And it could be a retinol, a prescription retinol, any other retinol formula that you're using. That's where this would go typically. And I know you must be thinking like, wait, but didn't you say thinnest to thickest in terms of consistency? So there are a few caveats here. Number one, always follow the direction of a professional. Like if you've talked to someone, an esthetician, a derm, or, somebody that works for a specific brand and they say, hey, this is how you should apply the products, and obviously listen to that. But for us, you want to apply your retinol or your glycolic 10 renew overnight, any active that you have first. Let that absorb into the skin and then go ahead and follow with your serum application again. So after that, serums in order of thinnest to thickest, ending with your creams for the eyes and for the face, and then you can call it a night, right? So this is just that snapshot of, again, of what it looks like separated. We looked at the overall blueprint. We looked at the breakdown of the AM. We looked at the breakdown of the PM. So I hope that this information is starting to make a little bit more sense and that it's sinking in a little bit more. We're going to dive deeper, so we're going to continue on. But now that we've covered layering, of the products, let's talk specifics, specifically with serums and then those active products, right? Because we can have a few of these, one or more. Remember, there could be 2 serums, there could be 9 serums. I've seen it all. So, what if you have multiple SkinCeuticals serums? So, I'm not talking about antioxidants. If you have a vitamin C serum, you're just going to have one, right? If you have the nighttime resveratrol BE, you're just going to have that one. So you don't need multiple vitamin C serums. You're going to choose one. That's going to go on first. That's your shield, your protection against the day. Then you can layer on your more corrective products. And these products you want to choose with intention and you want to make sure that they have purpose. I know it's really, really tempting to always want to buy the newest product that's coming out. Trust me, I do it all the time. It's hot, it's new, I want it, but it may not be for me, right? So always ask these questions when you're considering adding something new to the routine. What is the purpose of that product in my routine? And is it for me? Meaning, does it address my concerns? So you need to know what those concerns are, right? Your unique concerns that are specific to you that can change. Is it right for my skin type? And does it fit in with my lifestyle? And when I say my lifestyle, it's preference in texture, preference in scent, and also what you're willing to do. Do you know that you're a minimalist? Do you know that you're a maximalist and you're willing to try anything? So those you need to take into account as well. That way you don't have a product that's sitting in your vanity for like 6 months or like a year later you find it and you're like, oh man, is this so good to use? Probably not. So making sure that we're picking products that have a purpose and picking them with intention. That way we're seeing the results that we want from our products because we're being consistent with it. We know how to use it and we know what it's going to do, right? So really important, just things to think about when you're adding new things into the routine. So when you have multiple SkinCeuticals serums, there is a specific order of consistency that they kind of lie on in terms of like from thinnest to thickest. And I'm going to show you a little cheat sheet of what that looks like. Again, these are most of our corrective serums. So you'll notice there's no vitamin C here because that's an antioxidant serum. There's no retinol here because that's an active treatment, right? These are just our serums. And our corrective serums are formulated to address specific needs and concerns in the skin. So they're all listed here, at least most of them are. And this is, if you had all of them, this is how they would go on in order, right? If you had cell cycle catalyst, blemish and age defense, discoloration defense, phytocorrective gel, retexturing activator, PTOX, and HA intensifier multiglycan. This is that order, that spectrum of thin to thick and how they would be layered on, right? So just a little snapshot for you here. Eliminate what you don't have and then use that. So if you had PTOX and HA intensifier, multiglycan, that's how you would order PTOX first, then HA intensifier, multiglycan. And you can kind of plug and play with the rest of these here, but that's a wonderful kind of representation of thin to thick and how they would go on. And remember, this is going on after cleansing, after toning, and antioxidants. Serums will go on twice daily, once in the morning and once in the evening. But of course, remember our lifestyle and what we're willing to do and what we want to do. It's okay. Maybe if you separate them, if you're just not going to apply it twice daily, that's okay. But you will get maximum results if you are applying your products twice daily, if they are designed for twice daily use. So keep that in mind. Okay. Now we're going to move on to nighttime actives. So if you have multiple nighttime actives in the routine, how is that going to look like, right? If you're like, Cori, I have a retinol and I have glycolic 10 renew overnight, and I have another acid from another brand, like a lactic acid or a glycolic or a salicylic acid, right? Those would all be considered actives, anything that's going to be active in the skin. These go on typically at nighttime. And if you have more than one, we don't really want to layer them all at the same time. And the reason being is because there is a cause for potential irritation. It could be very overwhelming to the skin and the skin barrier. So if you have multiple actives, here's how you would separate them. And this could also be considered a skin cycling routine. I know many of you have heard the term skin cycling. What it is, basically, it's a viral pro-approved method of rotating your active ingredients during the week to prevent irritation and optimize your results. This is just the beginning kind of snapshot of a introductory skin cycling routine. As your skin starts to get acclimated and used to these actives and becomes more resilient, maybe you shorten the nights that you're resting and recovering, right? And we'll talk about what that looks like in a second. But usually the skin cycling method will follow a 4-night shift. Night 1 will include exfoliation, so maybe glycolic 10 renew or another glycolic acid treatment that you have, or another, maybe it's a lactic acid treatment, maybe it's a multiple acid treatment. That this is where it would go. After that, your retinol on night 2, I mean, and then nights 3 and 4 are all about recovery. So you're going to rest from any of those actives and let your skin kind of recuperate and focus on hydration and barrier repair products. So maybe you're using your serums in order of thinnest to thickest, and then you're making sure that you apply a really nourishing barrier replenishing cream, like maybe Triple Lipid Restore 242, wonderful for the skin barrier and for recovery. And this is really going to, again, help to reduce potential irritation when using those strong actives. It can allow your skin to reap the benefits of powerful ingredients without overdoing it. And I like to think about it as giving your skin, like you're working out, right? And then you take rest days. So it's like one day you're doing full body and another day you're doing maybe like Pilates, and then you rest on like 3 and 4, right? So retinol will work deeper within the skin, activating cell turnover and helping with deep correction, while other acids will work on the surface of the skin, promoting that surface exfoliation and glow, right? So both of them together really work in tandem to give you really beautiful results. So if you've become a pro, if you're on this call and you're a pro, and you're like, I could use, I can use this. I'm on the strongest retinol. I'm on the strongest acid. My skin can handle anything. Then maybe you don't need a rest and recovery night, and you just alternate night over night. Maybe glycolic one night, retinol another, and so on and so on and so on without any rest. That would be like maximum pro achievement level. I'm still even not there yet because I love to switch up all of the acids. And so, yeah, you can definitely play around with this, with all of the acids that you have. And this way, you can kind of explore all of the acids. You don't have to stay limited to maybe just glycolic or just lactic. You can use them all and alternate them to really help, give you amazing, glowing, and beautiful skin. So something to think about if you have multiple acids, start adopting a skin cycling method, and that way you can kind of reap the benefits, because results are only going to come from consistency and from actually using your products, right? So it takes time to see those results, just like the gym. We can't just go once and expect to have big gains. It takes a while. We have to build that muscle. We have to, train that muscle to really see the results. So again, train that skin, really work it out, give it enough rest and recovery, and then continue the cycle all over again. So just wanted to highlight that for all of you watching. I know skin cycling and kind of how to use multiple acids or treatments is a big question that we get a lot too. Okay, so moving on, I want to dive into each step, like we talked about earlier, of the routine. And when we talked about product purpose, I want you to know what every product in your routine is going to do. What breaks my heart is when somebody tells me, like, I just bought this and I don't know what it does. I have no idea what it does. I don't know when to use it. I don't know what it does. Help, And we're going to fix that hopefully right now. And we're going to talk about each step in the routine and all of that. And if you have a specific question on a product, please ask it in the chat. Again, our estheticians are here to answer your questions, and I'll also leave time at the end to answer your specific questions as well. So let's start with cleanser. When we think about cleanser, I do recommend a twice daily cleanse, but again, this is up to you and your lifestyle. Your morning cleanse is going to be a gentle morning cleanse. This is to remove any overnight oil, sweat, and bacteria. Your evening cleanse is going to be a little bit different. This might be a little bit more active. Maybe it's a little bit more of a foaming cleanser. Maybe it has exfoliation properties to it, because you really want this to remove the day, remove makeup, remove that sunscreen that's deep in the skin, and of course the pollution of the day. I always recommend too a double cleanse at nighttime. So you don't have to feel like you have to go out and buy 2 cleansers. However, just use the same cleanser 2 times, right? So first cleanse to take the day off, second cleanse to really treat the skin. It's super important to have clean skin when you're applying your active skincare to your skin. So you want to make sure that skin is clean, so that way everything else that you're applying works the way that it's supposed to work. When you're applying your cleanser, make sure you're using enough, a dime size amount, or 1 to 2 pumps is perfect if you have a pump. I always like to make sure that my hands are wet when I apply it, and I like to foam it up if it's a foam. If it's something that instructs you to put it on dry, then put it on dry. Otherwise, if it's something foaming or lathering, you want to make sure you have wet hands and a wet face, and then you can go ahead and kind of work it in. When we're cleansing, I see a lot of cleansing being done like really fast and then cleanse it off. But your cleanser takes time. It needs time to work, right? It needs time to attract dirt and debris and makeup. It needs time to deeply cleanse the pores and get in there. If you're struggling with congestion, if you're struggling with blackheads, if you're struggling with whiteheads, like you really want to take your time to get in there. So 30 to 60 seconds minimum to cleanse your skin, working it in circular motions all over the face. And that doubles as a massage too. So really get in there and massage your skin, get that circulation going. Look at it as again a little a little relaxation moment. After that, you can rinse, and this is really important as well. Don't rinse with scalding hot water. We're going to break the skin barrier down. We're going to damage the skin. Let's not do that. Lukewarm water is great. You can rinse with cooler water as well. I love lukewarm water, to just rinse it off and then pat the skin dry. We don't want to rub aggressively with a towel. We pat nice and dry, be gentle with our skin, try not to rub and tug it, and then we'll go ahead and move on with our application of skincare. And again, at nighttime, remember that double cleanse is really key, especially if we're wearing sunscreen, if we've been out all day, we're in summer, we're sweating a lot, we're producing more oil. So double cleansing at night is really important. It's really going to make a difference, especially if you have some congestion and rough texture. So morning and evening, maybe you use a gentle cleanser in the morning, a little bit more of an active cleanser at nighttime. Moving on to toner and essence. Again, remember this is that optional step. So what's the difference between a toner and an essence? So toners are typically lighter and waterier, and they help to remove impurities and balance the skin, right? They can also have exfoliation properties. You can apply them either with your hands or a cotton round on the skin. I find that people that love to use toners have just been using them for years, and they love how fresh it makes their skin feel. It's a little bit of an extra removal step, helps with a little bit of surface exfoliation, and they just enjoy it. Also, problematic skin. If you're congested, if you know that you easily break out, or if you just want to add, exfoliation to the routine, then a toning step would be very beneficial. And we have a couple of different toners, which are lovely. And then essences. So essences are a little different. These are typically a little bit more thicker and richer in texture. And these are going to help to boost or add or infuse something into the skin. They're also primarily used for like prep for absorption of serum. So we have one essence in the form of a mist called Phytocorrective Essence Mist, which I love. Very lightweight, very calming, very soothing, and then can help prep your skin for the rest of the routine. Really great for somebody that needs extra hydration in the routine. Really nice. So again, when applying your toner, you're going to give it either 1 to 2 shakes in the palm of your hand and apply, or you can dab that onto a cotton round and go ahead and swipe that way. If it's an essence, you're just going to mist onto the skin, and then I always like to press gently and then follow with the rest of the routine. If you have both a toner and an essence, toner will go on first and then the essence. I also like to make sure I'm holding the essence about 6 to 10 inches away from the face so that I get a nice even application. And then you can go ahead and press and then move on with the routine. And yeah, you want to apply immediately after cleansing and before the serums. So let's move on to serums. And we're going to start with our order of application, which would mean that antioxidant serums are going to be going on next. With antioxidant serums, we're talking about vitamin C for daytime, resveratrol BE for nighttime. A vitamin C serum is an essential step in any SkinCeuticals routine. So highly recommend, if you're not already using a vitamin C serum in your routine, that you look into some of the options that either we have or maybe from another brand. But I will say I am biased, but I love our vitamin C antioxidant serums. They are fantastic. again, so vitamin C is gonna be a core step of any SkinCeuticals regimen. It's gonna offer that superior protection against environmental aggressors, which are trying to just wreak havoc on our skin cells. They contribute to visible signs of aging. They contribute to discoloration and to other long-term skin damage that we see visibly on our skin. So I always like to say, yes, it's a anti-aging ingredient, but it's so much more than that. It's for your skin's health, right? Antioxidants help to maintain and optimize the health of your skin. And a happy side effect, a very happy side effect, is that we see a visible improvement in fine lines, in wrinkles, and elasticity, in brightness, and in radiance of the skin too. So beautiful to just all in all anti-aging. Vitamin C, as a reminder, only needs to be applied once daily in the morning. 4 to 5 drops into the palm of your hand is more than enough for the face, for the neck, and for the chest. When you're taking your SkinCeuticals vitamin C serum and dropping it into the palm of your hand, and that's drops, not vial full. So little drops into the palm of your hand is all you need. I like to then spread between my hands and then press with firm pressure and massage like gently. So I'm not rubbing this in like I would a hydrating serum. I'm more so pressing and infusing it into my skin and then kind of massaging any excess in. Always taking it down to my neck and the chest. Please don't neglect your neck. It's the first area that we really start to see signs of aging that are incredibly hard to treat. The skin is very thin here, so we want to make sure we're caring for it. Anything left over, take it to the back of the hands, right? Our hands are beacons for just everything. So take it to the back of the hands. And again, you only need to choose one of our vitamin C serums to apply. A lot of our vitamin C lovers like multiple formulas. And so they'll do one in spring and summer and maybe one in fall and winter. For example, CE ferulic in the fall and winter, it's a little richer, and then maybe Florets and CF in the spring and summer to get ahead of any discoloration, and it's oil free, so it's a little bit lighter. So that's an option, right? Again, remember your lifestyle, your preference, the season, all of that, take that into account with your skincare routine. Do you need to do that? No, absolutely not. If you want to, you definitely can. So you can alternate that way by the season or with skin changes, right? So always feel like you can switch it up for sure. Once you do apply your vitamin C serum, it does stay active in the skin for 72 hours, but I like to compare this to your gas tank, right? So my dad always used to say, I don't know if this is a myth, but you should never let your gas tank go like below half. I don't know why he said that to me to this day, but it's always like in my mind, like, oh, I have to go fill it up. It's just more gas in your tank, right? More protection, but it does stay active. So if you forget to apply it the next day, or if you want to spread it out, you can do that. It does stay active in the skin. Once you open your vitamin C serum, you want to make sure that you use it within 6 months. Color change is going to happen. It's normal. With our formulas, we use pure vitamin C, which is known as L-ascorbic acid. So that means it's going to oxidize, it's going to change color, but that oxidation is not a signal that the formula is no longer efficacious. So our clinical studies show that our formula will stay active, efficacious, stable for until the last drop up to 6 months. So really nice to know that you'll get different shades and it'll change over time, but that's not an indicator of efficacy. Moving on to serums. So we did talk a lot about corrective serums and how to layer them in order of thinnest to thickest. But remember your serums, when you're choosing a serum, think about your specific skin concern or skin type. Keep that in mind, right? These are your products that are going to have a higher concentration of actives that address those specific concerns. So you can choose to incorporate one or several depending on your skin's needs and what you're looking to improve. So some common concerns for serums and their usage would be discoloration, surface fine lines and wrinkles, loss of volume, rough skin texture, things like that. So look for serums that are indicated that are going to tell you this is for that, right? So when you're applying your serum, 4 to 5 drops or a pea-size amount into the palm of your hand, you're going to go ahead and then massage onto the face, all over the skin. You can take it down to the neck as well. Our serums are made to layer. They can be taken down to the neck and chest as well. Some of them around the eyes as well. So with PTOX, you can apply that around the eyes. It is clinically proven to improve the appearance of crow's feet under eye lines and interocular lines. So I always like to take a little bit there. And then again, just remember, avoid layering those strong actives unless you're directed to do so. So you don't want to layer your retinol with like a, 20% glycolic acid treatment. We want to separate those by night. And then just let your products absorb lightly between steps. Wait about 30 seconds or until the skin feels like it's not sopping wet, and then you can move on to the next step in your serum application. Next application would be eye cream. We're getting into the creams. Now we're getting a little thicker, right? So eye creams are formulated for the delicate skin around the eye. The eye area is about 10 times thinner than the skin around our face. You only need a teeny bit of eye cream, about half a pea size, split between 2 fingers. I like to use my ring finger to avoid tugging. Heading into my late 40s, my late 40s, sorry, my late 30s, the skin around my eyes, I'm starting to notice is a little bit more lax. Like it's not as taut as it used to be. So I'm realizing now why it's really important to apply gently with that ring finger to avoid any tugging. I always like to kind of gently pull the skin taut and then I'll apply, so that way I'm not tugging the skin that much there and causing any unnecessary, breakdown of anything. So ring finger is a good way to avoid that. I like to tap and then gently massage into this area, focusing on crow's feet into the temples. You can apply onto the brow bone if you want to, but eye cream is not designed to be used on the lash line or on the eyelid. It's just for this area of the eyes where we start to see puffiness, where we start to see fine lines, crow's feet, and discoloration. You can use morning and evening for cumulative benefit. And then you can always add an eye serum underneath it if you have an extra specific concern. So make sure the eye serum goes on first, then your eye cream could go on top of it. After our eye creams, we're ready for the face moisturizer. We have a few different types of moisturizers. Our anti-aging creams are really beneficial for unique skin types, and they address specific actual like biological processes of aging in the skin. So when we say skin barrier, support with triple lipid restore 242, we're talking about lipid depletion, age related or external stress related, like a retinol or extreme weather, right? So everything has a reason and specific key ingredients to actually target why that change is happening in the skin. So we're addressing the root of it with clinically proven ingredients. So really nice to know. So again, pay attention to what your needs are. Look for a corrective cream, a moisturizer based on that, and you'll be really happy with that if you're choosing based on your needs, right? So regardless of your skin type, a moisturizer is going to be essential for replenishing hydration and really locking that into the skin. So when you're layering your skincare products, the moisturizer step is really going to help to create that seal and enhance the action of your serums and their active ingredients. And depending on your skin type, though, if you're using multiple corrective serums and they each kind of have like a hydrating type of ingredient in it, and you're very oily and it's summertime, maybe you don't need a thick, rich cream at the end of that routine, right? So if you have oily, blemish-prone skin, or you're using a lot of hydrating ingredients in your serums, you can use a lighter weight gel, maybe hydrating B5 gel, right? It's a hydrating serum, but it can take the place of a moisturizer. I love it. It's oil-free. It just sinks right into the skin. It doesn't clog the pores. So you may not need a dedicated, rich formula, but use something to kind of seal the deal, and be that barrier between the serums and the rest of the world, right? You can again use different formulas depending on the season and time of day and skin changes, right? So you feel free to use one formula for daytime and one formula for night. Or if you're like, okay, now I just want one moisturizer, choose one that works well for both morning and evening, right? I would start there. But of course, as your skin changes and you finish a bottle of something, really sit down and think, did I like that? Did that give me the results I was looking for? Do I need something else? And then you can kind of reassess and choose a different product based on those questions. And ending with sunscreen. So, sunscreen, we all know that facial sunscreen is an essential step to any morning routine. We know that it's important, we know that we need it, but a lot of us don't really look forward to applying it, and that's me included. Sunscreen is not my favorite step of the routine for a few reasons. But it's essential. I like a sunscreen and moisturizer duo. I've found that that works best for me. And daily brightening UV defense is my favorite because it gives my skin a glow. And I feel like I can use less makeup when I use that formula. So what I'm trying to say here is that the best sunscreen for you is going to be the one that you actually look forward to using. So I'm not offended if it's not a SkinCeuticals sunscreen, although we have wonderful formulas for every skin type and concern. So we'd be happy to find you one that works for you. But if you have one that you know that you love and it's been working for you for years, like keep using that, right? If you're like, I'm not obsessed with my sunscreen, then keep shopping around, right? Look at the consistency, try to figure out what you like, what you don't like about sunscreens you've used in the past, and kind of figure out which one's going to be the best for you based on those deductions. But again, I would recommend choosing based on your skin concerns and preferences. Do you want a mineral? Do you want something with organic filters? Do you like tinted? Do you like non-tinted? Do you like just the sunscreen? Do you want a sunscreen and moisturizer hybrid? Do you want a sunscreen that also treats discoloration and brightens the skin and hydrates? We have all of that. So definitely ask those questions and choose one based on that. Okay, so let's move on to, I have two example regimens for you to take away from today, and these are just examples. This is just products that we've put together. You can play and plug and remove and readjust. That's what I love so much about our range. We have so many products for so many different specific skin types and needs and concerns. So you can really create the most custom routine, totally unique to you. So here's an example, a morning routine that we've put together for you. It's an anti-aging routine that is focused on addressing wrinkles, loss of volume, and skin tone damage. Just an example, okay? So if you're kind of lost and you don't know where to start, maybe you can pick and choose some products from this example, but we've put them in order of application for you. So cleanser, Simply Clean, wonderful gel cleanser to remove the day, works as a double cleanse, works as a gentle morning cleanse, so you can use it morning and night. I love it. Removes mascara like a breeze. Then you have your CE ferulic for your vitamin C antioxidant, PTOX to really address surface fine lines and wrinkles, HE intensifier multiglycan for loss of volume and facial plumpness, AGE advanced eye for pretty much every visible sign of aging around the eye, wonderful formula. Advanced RGN6, which is a wonderful corrective cream for skin tone damage and signs of aging, repair, regeneration. And then our Physical Fusion UV Defense Sunscreen, a beautiful mineral tinted formula. And this is the order that you would apply it with. Now for nighttime, the same skin concern would be wrinkles, loss of volume, skin tone damage. This is what that nighttime routine would look like to maximize results. Again, not necessary to use every single step, just an example if you wanted to maximize. So cleanser would be Simply Clean again, cleanse twice. Your antioxidant for night would be resveratrol BE, then your retinol of choice, followed by PTOX, HA intensifier multiglycan, your AGE, advanced eye, and then advanced RGN6. Again, please feel free to play with like application of certain things. If you feel like I want to put my retinol before my resveratrol BE, you can do that. Those can go on interchangeably. Just wait a little bit between each application, each layer, and then apply your product. So if you're instructed to apply it in a different way, if you just like to apply it in a different way, please feel free to do so. These are just example kind of regimens that we've built for you. But yeah, these beautiful routines for you. So I want to go ahead and kind of recap everything that we've talked about, and I want to make sure we have enough time for some questions because I want to hear from all of you. So, key takeaways from today, remember that layering skincare products in the correct order is essential for maximizing effectiveness and achieving desired results. The order of application should start with cleanser and toner, followed by serums and moisturizers from lightest to thickest in texture. Remember, there are a few caveats and exceptions to that general rule, but this is applicable throughout pretty much every routine with those few caveats. Antioxidant serums like vitamin C should be applied first in the morning only to protect the skin against environmental damage. So, only once daily in the morning. Your corrective serums with targeted ingredients are going to address specific concerns like fine lines, wrinkles, discoloration, or blemishes. So, those are the purpose of the corrective serums in your routine. And then lastly, broad spectrum sun protection should be applied last to optimize protection from harmful UV rays. So just some key layering takeaways that I hope we remember from today. And I hope we're all looking forward to applying our skincare routines tonight. I want to see, let's go ahead and get some questions going.
Um, so one thing resonated a lot with me in your presentation, and it was that you don't like it when people say that they bought this product, they have this product, but they have no idea what it does.
Said it
And
breaks my heart,
I know.
Sissy. It breaks my heart. It makes me sad.
But on that, we haven't had an opportunity to educate our SkinCeuticals followers on SkinCeuticals Advanced RGN6. And so before we jump into questions, I wonder if you could just give a brief overview of what this new product does and how it might benefit someone by placing it into their regimen.
Absolutely. Advanced RGN6 is a regenerative cream. So this formula actually it took 5 years to develop in combination or in collaboration, I should say, with 20 skin regeneration scientists from around the world. This formula is really cool, you guys. So it's like a workhorse. If you have multiple signs of skin tone damage and signs of aging, meaning discoloration, rough texture, you feel like you have past blemish marks, redness in the skin. Your skin feels like it needs repair, recovery. It's just looking dull. It's looking sallow. You're noticing fine lines as well. This is a perfect formula for any skin type, including sensitive, that will help to reverse 6 signs of aging and skin tone damage. So it uses laser treatments as a blueprint for how it works in the skin. So it has 6 active ingredients that trigger 6 dimensions of repair in the skin to reverse those signs of aging, specifically visible redness, I think after 12 weeks by up to 69%. So if you're somebody that feels kind of red or like your skin tone's not even, it's not vibrant, this is beautiful. And again, addresses fine lines as well, loss of elasticity, helps to enhance the way that your skin can regenerate, right? It has amazing ingredients in it to really help it out there. If you do get lasers, you can use this post-treatment to help with recovery. And downtime. However, it's designed just like PTOX to stand on its own, aside from that in-office treatment, to give you amazing results. So I like to say, like, if you have multiple concerns and you look at the rest of our creams and you're like, I like that, but I also have this issue and I also have this issue, this is a good product to kind of domino, a lot of different concerns in one transformative formula. And it's light. Let me show everybody what this looks like, which I love. Like it's got this pretty light, creamy texture that's unlike any other product or corrective cream texture in our portfolio. It's hydrating, but it's not like a thick, rich formula. You can layer it with other products if you wanted to, but really nice for overall repair and regeneration.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, we just had a question pop in. Should one use a red light mask before applying the nighttime routine, and or can you apply and then use your red light mask?
Red light mask first. I'm a big red light mask girl. I use mine every night. I'm obsessed with it. So yeah, cleanse your skin and make sure your skin is dry and clean. Then put your red light mask on. Do it for whatever the time is. After that, move on with the routine. So that would include your tone, your essence, and then the rest of your leave-on products. With the red light, you just don't want anything in the way of those wavelengths of light from penetrating the skin and doing what it needs to do. So again, when we're talking about layering, we don't want anything blocking certain things. So clean skin, dry skin, let that work its magic. Also going to be really good to help everything else you apply just work better for the skin too.
We got a lot of questions before the presentation about how to layer in a prescription tretinoin into your nighttime routine. Can you go over that?
Yes, so any prescriptions, this will be another caveat. If you have a prescription, anything, whether it's for, retinol or any other prescription that the dermatologist has prescribed, that will always go on first. We don't want to get in the way of that, right? It's being prescribed to you for a reason. Retinol or retin-A or tretinoin usually is more for cosmetic purposes, but that will still go on first because it's a prescription and it's very strong, right? So prescription retinoids are pure retinoic acid, where our retinol is encapsulated. So the skin needs to kind of break through that encapsulation to take out the retinoic acid. So it's almost like shot of espresso with your prescription retinoid versus a latte with our retinols. At the end of the day, you'll get the same amount of caffeine once it's going to take longer to get you there, but it tastes better and it's more enjoyable. So that's why sometimes people will use an over the counter versus a prescription, but up to you.
Diadra asked if you could give her a mini skincare regimen for her neck.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. So everything, take it down to your neck. Whatever it is that you're using on your face, take it down to the neck. So that would be like your vitamin C serum, take it down. Any corrective serums, take it down at nighttime. I would avoid applying a retinol to this area just because remember the skin is really thin here. It's very, very thin. So the face retinol might be a little bit too strong here. So I would recommend a neck specific treatment cream like tripeptide R neck repair. I know there are so many neck products on the market as well. So at nighttime, use something like that, something specifically targeted and corrective for the neck. In the daytime, make sure you apply vitamin C, and then anything you're using on the face, ending with sunscreen for sure to this area.
Deanna asks if there's any modifications that you would make to the AM or PM example regimens that you listed if you have sensitive skin.
Yeah. So for nighttime, I would probably, if your skin can't tolerate heavier actives or acids like retinol or glycolic 10 renew or just acids in general, I would eliminate those. You could use something like cell cycle catalyst instead. So it is a booster to amplify the rest of the products in the routine, but it also is a good retinol alternative for our more sensitive or reactive people because it's not harsh for the skin barrier. It's really gentle, so it has more of like a gentle peeling effect, and it helps to improve skin barrier renewal. It helps to improve hydration in the skin as well, but it helps to promote cell renewal. So you'll get some of the cell renewal aspect benefits without any of the retinol kind of scaries. Yeah, so it's a good alternative.
Honey has asked, how do I work in the Metacell B3 lotion? Yep, that's basically her question.
Yeah. First of all, I love that name. Honey. So the Metacell Renewal B3 is a corrective moisturizer. So that'll go on during your moisturizer step. So remember, when we're applying in the morning and at nighttime, we cleanse, we tone, we apply our antioxidant, then our serums in order of thinnest to thickest, then our eye cream, then our face cream. So that's where Metacell Renewal would go in. And then, of course, if it's morning time, you end with the sunscreen. But Metacell Renewal B3 will go in during that moisturizer step. Love
Awesome.
Meta. Yeah.
Metacell's great,
So
actually.
good. Yeah, it's so good. I love
Okay.
it.
That's all of the questions, Cori.
I love it.
Great.
I'm so glad that we were able to do this, and thank you everybody for joining and spending your evening with us. And yeah, I would love to see how your skincare routine's gonna go tonight. I wish I could be there. I love
Um,
it.
Before we close out, I do want to let everyone know that if you have any additional questions about SkinCeuticals products, how to layer them, what antioxidant might be best for you, you can contact us at Lovely Skin, our customer care department at customercare@lovelyskin.com. They'd love to help answer any questions that you have regarding SkinCeuticals.
Yay.
Thank you so much, Cori, for your time tonight. We really appreciate it. And as always, I learn so much when we have these. So thank you so much.
You're so welcome. So excited, and I'll see you all at the next one.
Thanks, Cori.
Bye, everyone. Have a good night.